Thanks, Kenneth.
Are we on? Thanks so much. Again, I am Ken, and Fardeen will be heading this session today. Agent websites that wow. Definitely one of the first and most important things that you should work on when you're establishing your real estate career. Everything that you're going to be using, all the marketing materials that you will be producing should include your web address that's drawing everyone to your personal website. And we want to share that this is not really a 101 class. Rather, this is a 201 class, understanding that you know most of the principles of the InTouch website editor. But feel free to ask any questions if anything goes over your head or if you just need some more insight on things. So in today's discussion, we're going to show you how to use the InTouch website editor in terms of website appearance. We'll work on editing the respective pages and adding custom pages. You can also add custom tabs or even a widget to your website. There are ways that you can actually section the website and place columns on the website, making it easy to place custom widgets on there. And we will also touch on the all-important testimonials and incorporating community served into your personal website. So let's get started. I normally start with this website preparation checklist, if you will. So you definitely want to start with updating your InTouch account profile. And on each slide, you'll see these quick instructions that will direct you onto how to actually take care of this feature to update on your website. So we're on InTouch. We'll click on My Account and Settings. This website preparation checklist will start with making sure your profile information is complete and accurate. This information will be reflected on all things that come out of your InTouch account, including your personal website. So your display name, your phone numbers, external emails, your call to action, your professional biography, all of this information, as well as your social media links, should be added to your profile so that it will show on your personal website. Next, we have what's known as your professional biography. There are two fields where you can plug this information in. There is a bio summary and there's a full bio. So in the bio summary, this is the section that can appear on your agent contact card, which will appear on the homepage of your website. The full bio will actually appear on your about page. So just making sure that you understand how to fill those out and how you can make sure that bio summary will appear on your homepage. We'll go over that, as well as adding your images. So all of this information goes in your profile, making sure that your headshot, the office photo, any brand logos that you're using, making sure that you have all of that uploaded in your profile is very important. And once you have that all complete, we're ready to rock and roll. There's a few more items we want to put on this checklist as well. Our additional settings, MLS setup. You want to make sure that you can integrate all of your listings from your local MLS to your website. And this is done through an IDX feed. So I'll tell you that at this point, if you haven't set up your IDX feed, the listings that appear on your website will be the listings that fall in the Realogy umbrella. So any companies that are in the Realogy umbrella in your network, in your market, those listings will appear on your InTouch website. If by chance you're maybe a buyer's agent and you're working with buyers and you'd like for all of your listings to appear, or let's say that you are joining Coldwell Banker from another company and you want your listings from that other company, your sold listings, to appear on your website, the way that we can make that happen is through an IDX feed. In the Mid-Atlantic region, our IDX feed is set up through our actual local MLS company. So you'll go onto that website to set this up. But there is a feature on InTouch that will allow you to set this up as well. So different markets may connect your IDX different ways. Make sure you're working with your field marketing specialist or manager, making sure that you know the correct system for your market. Email settings. You can actually have auto emails go out to consumers who actually register on your website. Or if you add a consumer or a prospective client to your website or to your InTouch account, an auto email will go out. So you want to make sure that that auto email is customized, that it's coming from your words, or you can opt to have that auto email inactive. Okay, so I want to make sure that you take care of that setting before you are sending out information. You can also integrate your InTouch contacts with other services as Gmail, Microsoft Office 365, Zillow, and more. So this is a syncing situation. So if you're not familiar with integrations and syncing from one platform to the next, be sure that you know that if you remove a contact from one, it will surely be removed from the other. So I want to make sure that you are well informed with that. Make sure you're talking with your field marketing specialist before you hit that go button on integration. But this is a great feature. If you have all of your contacts in one of these other platforms, it's great to incorporate this, quickly sync your contacts into your InTouch platform. Website appearance. This is very important to me, making sure that you know how your website appears, how it's laid out on your website. The way that you can control your website appearance is through this feature. You go to website, you click edit, and there's a link that says appearance, and you click that, and that will allow you to decide upon which templates you'll decide upon to use for your website builder. You can decide upon the logo variation, as you see here. You can decide upon the colors that you'll incorporate into your website. If maybe you have a brand and your brand has this particular color, you can use those colors on your personal website. You can choose the font types that show on your headers. You can choose the font colors as well for your titles. These hero images here, you can decide upon what hero images to use. We have stock photos that are available in InTouch, but you can also upload your own photos if you have some high-res photos to use. We can show you how to do that and more with what's known as the InTouch website setup wizard. So we'll go over that as well.
The internet.
Now, as you're deciding upon what colors, because you'll be able to decide upon the colors, there are some recommended colors that Coldwell Banker has in the InTouch program. But if by chance you may change the colors and they go off key and you want to go back to your default colors, our Coldwell Banker Identity Standards Manual gives you the recommended colors. These are our primary colors. It also includes the color number, the Pantone number, and so forth. So when you're working in such, you want to put particular color numbers in there, you can use this information, incorporate it into your personal website. So the Coldwell Banker color palette is available on BrandServe. You can go through these steps here to click on resources and guidelines, or you can simply click on BrandServe and put in keyword search identity standards. It will take you right there. This was just recently updated in May, so make sure that your identity standards manual is up to speed. Also wanted to touch on our Coldwell Banker at a glance page. This is also available on BrandServe, just to give you the Coldwell Banker colors and giving you a little rules on how to use our logos. So on our website, when you're deciding upon the monogram version of our logo, make sure that you're using this with a dark background. So there'll be transparent ribbons behind the logo, and you want to make sure that you're using the right background with the right logo. And on the framed logo, make sure that it's a light or preferably white background. And so I'll show you those in just a moment here. Okay, so this is just a quick example of that, of a web page. So I just want to just show you how these standard websites will appear. This is one of the templates that are available. And you see that this agent has multiple photos in their hero images that they've uploaded. So it's going to revolve like a carousel. So she has some interior shots, she has some exterior shots of this particular market that she works in, and so forth. There's a search field here that she's customized this information there that appears. She's licensed in multiple jurisdictions. This is the agent contact card that appears. And this is the bio summary that I spoke on, where you can include that information. She's an award-winning agent, so we've incorporated this logo that's available on BrandServe as well under the award section. So she's really made this custom. This is the boilerplate information that appears on the website, and she's just simply changed the font type on here to just make it a little bit more inviting. Pia is one of our top agents in the Mid-Atlantic region, so she has a segment on Fox 5, and this is one that she did just a few Fridays ago on our Fox 5 affiliate in Washington, D.C. So what a great way to show her prowess in the market by talking about hot listings in the market. And she's just got a quick video, you know, where she's just talking about that. And I'm not going to play that, but I just wanted to show you how awesome you can put media on your personal website. She's got testimonials that she's incorporated on here that we can easily add from Zillow or Realtor.com. Or you can also go to the About page here and just have clients review you themselves. They can simply click here on Recommend Me, and they can put in a testimonial of their own for you on your website there. I'll scroll down past her testimonials. She has a widget on featured properties that she'd like to show on her website. A great way to just add some more content on the page, featured properties from your broker code, her recent sales. And another big wow factor are the community serve that she has on her page. Now, these links, you can click on each of these images and it will take you to a full page dedicated to that particular market. It's up to you what you'd like to put on those community serve pages. You can pull that information from maybe a Chamber of Commerce page related to that particular community. If you have your own custom information that you'd like to share, you can plug that in. Maybe a neighborhood blog. You know, those are just some ideas that you can use. If I clicked on one of these communities served, takes us to that page. She's uploaded photos, talks about these community characteristics about that neighborhood, and she has sourced this information. So make sure if you're using information that's pulled from another site, be sure to source it, maybe even link that information. The great thing about the community serve is that it gives you these averages, what's going on in that market, provided that you plug in the zip code or the subdivision of that neighborhood, and it gives you active listings that fall in that particular community. So these are wow factors that I think are important to incorporate in your website. You can also add video to your community served. So very important thing, if you maybe are you working with a videographer, add video about that community as you're walking through the neighborhood, or maybe have them produce a nice quick 30-second or 1 minute video that you can add to this site here. Very effective. All right, I'm going to pause here and I will let Fardeen take over, and I'll see you guys in a second.
Yes, hello everybody. Let me spotlight myself really quick. Here we are. So I am Fardeen Chowdhury, also part of the Mid-Atlantic marketing team, part of the great marketing team that you guys have along the East Coast. We all work in tandem together, so I'm happy to help you guys go over some more of the specific stuff of the internet here, or of the website we have here. Hopefully Kenneth will now be manning the chat as I have been trying to. And I will be covering some of the questions that actually you guys did go over, and hopefully, if time wills, we will do a hands-on example of creating some of these custom pages and really putting some of these tools into practice. So it'll be great. So you'll notice when you go into the editing website section, from your dashboard, you see here on that little computer screen, we are on the editing website section of our dashboard. You see here that you are able to edit any of these pages. So, and I will show this in the example, but any of these pages can be changed via they can be changed from their name, their SEO, and their contents. So when you do go into the page, you'll see you have the option to add a custom page. You can add images, video, HTML to those pages, and you can also edit their headers. I do recommend keeping the headers short because you don't want too many tabs at the top. It does end up looking a little bit messy, and it does have a somewhat of a tight character count. And then within the pages themselves, each of them will allow you to incorporate custom videos, images, and HTML, which I will go into a little bit more. Next slide, please. And you can add widgets from other sites. One of the most popular ways we use this is actually via video from Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo even. These all allow you to embed. You just specifically have to find the embed code. There are other widgets out there. Popular ones are the Zillow widget, as you can see in that image below in the PowerPoint that we will provide. You can actually incorporate all of your Zillow reviews directly onto your website. And it'll be a link directly from Zillow. You can Google things like Zillow review widget, and it'll give you instructions on how to do that. And any Facebook post is actually shareable. So it doesn't have to be a video. It can just be a post of a testimonial. Maybe it's a post of somebody else praising you. You can always take those, click that share button, and you'll see the option to embed. And you can take any of those embeddable posts and actually directly put them on your page. And that's a great way to cross-link your web pages. So your Facebook could be connected to your web page and vice versa. Your YouTube can be connected to your web page. Even listing concierge websites, you know, that single property website they make for you, also can be cross-postable. So lots of options with this widget here. A lot of times, even if you're stuck on the widget, sometimes you can just make a QR code out of your website and have them two linked. And as you guys know, if you've looked in the profile section that Kenneth mentioned earlier, you can also put in your social medias there, and they'll have little icon buttons that'll link the two as well. Next slide for me, please. All right, so this is where we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. You can add a lot of customization to the website. So yes, the templates that we have are very similar across the agents, but what can make a difference is the customization, the organization. The best way to really dominate a market is finding your niche, right? Whether it's an area, whether it's maybe a occupation or a type of person, targeting your marketing is very important. And that's something that you can do on your website. You can have a specific tab just of an entirely Spanish section of your website. I've had that done before. I have an agent who wants to specify that they are working with the Homes for Heroes section here. So we have an entire page made for that. And you can create custom tabs. So at the top of the edit page, and I will show you in the demo here, you have the option to create menu items and links. And these can go to other pages. So it doesn't have to stick to your page. Again, you can cross-reference other pages. Another great opportunity to link to your listing concierge material here, as well as link to anything else that you might think pertains to your business or any partnerships that you might want to provide. This is a great way to promote maybe a partnership that you have with another local business if you're not using the partners page that is built in. But the menu tabs I will go over, and the links I will go over how they look and the differences between the two, in addition to what it is to make a custom page. That is also another option that you will see when you go to add a custom tab. Next slide for me, please. All right, so creating a custom page. So this is probably the largest endeavor that you can face on the website, creating a custom page. Because I did talk about, yes, we want to market towards these certain clients, our target audience. We know who they are. What are we going to do for them? How are we going to make this page stick out from the boilerplate template that somebody new who maybe hasn't touched the website has? I do recommend adding custom pages. I recommend doing everything that Ken mentioned at the beginning there, really customizing that carousel at the top and your custom sections on your page. But here, whenever you create a custom page, you'll see the first thing it asks you is to make that name. And again, I recommend keeping the name short for two reasons. The name goes in the URL of the page, so whatever the client needs to type in to go to that page directly, and it'll go on the tab that's on the top of the page, which again, if it's too long, can cause some issues, creating some clutter, and in general does have a pretty tight cap space. So while you might have a section on first-time home buyers, that might not fit in the entire section at the top. Naming it something like, first home, something a little bit shorter, a little bit tighter. Don't always recommend using abbreviations. HT, HB might not mean something to your client unless they've been in that field before. So I do kind of caution against using heavy abbreviations in these titles. And then the question that I was addressing earlier in the chat is about the SEO title. So each of your pages have the option to edit the SEO title, and these will affect how your websites not just appear in the title at the top there of your tab. You'll notice that Ken has quite a few tabs open, and all these tabs tell him what the tab is about. So you see he's hovering them at the top. He has the market leader, the desk, the Washington, D.C. So that lets you know what website you're on. So your SEO title is very important. You want to hit keywords, and you want to give your client the idea of what is on that page. You can always go to other websites and test out different kinds of SEO titles they're using. I always recommend using whatever name you're branding yourself with. So if I did Fardeen Chowdhury, just all my business, then we'll do all my business as Fardeen Chowdhury, and I would make it Fardeen Chowdhury homepage, Fardeen Chowdhury selling page, Fardeen Chowdhury buying page. Keep that brand consistency. Oh, if you're part of a group, you know, the Chowdhury Sells group, I would change that to match the name of whatever I'm doing business as. So the client has that in their brain, that they're familiarizing themselves with. This is the brand that I'm working with. The description is also as important. It's not as make it or break it as the title. It's very hard to find the description. The way you'll see the description is if somebody shares the link, if somebody looks into the metadata, or somebody ends up finding you on Google. So it's not inconsequential. It is something that you do need to take some time out to do. I recommend 1 or 2 lines, but this just goes from the title and expands it. You might want to hit a few more keywords, maybe talk about where you're licensed in, maybe talk about the services you provide, buying, selling, investing, renting, whatever it is. But this is used to drive that traffic, because once you get enough of that traffic from your SOI, the people you've been making the outreach to, once you get those clicks, your website will naturally move up on Google. So it is very important to take some time, write out a good title, and write out a good description. And again, I recommend maybe 2 to 3, even 1 long sentence that hits some keywords. Don't be a spammer. Just a pro tip: you don't want to just type Realtor Virginia real estate expert without a full sentence. Google actually does recognize that and does flag it as spam. So just be careful with how many words you're putting on there. Next slide for me, please. And then, so I am going to go into this in my example here, but there are different ways you can do sections, columns, and design on your pages. I'm going to go into the options. There is a big section bottom that's a little bit underutilized because it's a little bit hidden. So I like to show the agents how to use it. But the issue is it can get a little bit finicky. So I will be showing you how to be careful with that part of the section. You just have to make sure what you are putting on the website is equal. If you want, you can use HTML to format and to do more advanced things. And I will be showing you a brief example on maybe how to edit a video on your page if you don't think it looks right. I'm going to be showing you how to make it bigger or smaller based on what you need to do on the page. But usually anything beyond that does get a little bit more complicated. Maybe if you yourself is comfortable with doing HTML, maybe you have an assistant who is an HTML whiz. They're more than okay to edit the page, but keep it limited. If you're not too familiar with it, you don't have to touch it. The capabilities that are already built on the website are more than enough, and hopefully I'll be able to show you how to access that. And then always review how your website looks on different devices. Sometimes you might have a setting on yours that makes it look different on somebody else's. I'm going to be honest, it's not always perfect, and you guys can visit other websites mobile, and you can see on mobile, and you can see that it's not always perfect. But don't let perfect keep you from great. So I'm going to go ahead and take control here and share my screen. Thanks, Kenneth. All right, I hope everybody can see that. But I am on my market leader dashboard, and everything I was talking about is under the website section, and I did edit website. So everything I'm actually going to be doing here today is available on the free version of the website. We will briefly talk about what are the advantages of having the pro website. But you'll notice here that I have the marketingwithfardeen.cbintouch.com. That is how I want to brand myself. So what I was talking about today is in the page section, you'll notice here that each of these pages have the edit page, rename, SEO, and the view page. So as I click down here, you're going to see all the same options across most of them. You'll notice this one is a menu item. What that means is it is a header, essentially. So if I go to web page and view site, you'll notice here these say pages, but this one here under properties says menu item. So when I do go look at my properties, it is not a clickable link. I'm clicking right now, nothing is happening. So I'm right now clicking on this properties tab here. Nothing is happening, but it does create this drop down. And you notice this drop down has a page inside, which lets me edit and rename and do the SEO settings and a link. The link can only edit. So this is something that I did refer to earlier on my slide. You have the page, the option to add a page, the option to add a menu item, and the option to add a link. And when you add a link, again, this was the opportunity to take advantage of those listing concierge materials. Let's say you want to highlight a property or you want to talk about this luxury property that you have. Somebody can click here and go straight to your single property page, right? Say, maybe you can change the verbiage down here, letting them know, do you want, special property marketing for your listing? Contact me today. Whatever you want, you can always update your single property websites for your web pages here. Then going back here, I do want to emphasize my SEO settings. So as I go, I'm gonna hit cancel, excuse me. So as I go into my SEO settings here, so you'll see I have the Marketing with Fardeen homepage, so my clients know exactly where they are. And then just below that, I have a two-line description that hits all the keywords that I want to hit. I make sure to mention Coldwell Banker, make sure to mention my name and that I'm part of marketing and the services that I provide, insight, tips, and tricks, not just on the website, but all the Coldwell Banker tools. And that will be reflected when somebody Googles me and on my top banner. Sorry, I have this blocking right now. But here, as you can see up here, you can see that Marketing with Fardeen homepage on my banner so people understand where they are. I believe by default, it gives your clients your office location, which is totally fine. But, not everybody is working directly out of their office, or maybe, they are in a different region, even though their office is affiliated 50 miles away. That happens sometimes. So do make sure to go into each of these sections and edit your SEO settings. You just click here and click SEO settings, and you're able to update it. It does take a few days to show up on Google. So if you're already on the top of Google and you do change your SEO settings, keep in mind that it does take some time. You should see the reflection on the page itself immediately. I guess we do have more than enough time, so I am going to be talking about creating a custom page. You see, I have a page that talks about our tools here, and I have this page about RealVitalize. So if we go ahead and view this page, I'm going to show you what it looks like. And you can also access it through my menu item here. So if I click our tools, you will see the option to click on my RealVitalize page. You'll see I have this beautiful cover photo talking about fixing it up front for nothing. Here is where I use the sections part and incorporated a video here. I have the video that they can click on, as well as the information for RealVitalize, what it's about. And down here, just examples of what RealVitalize can help you fix, always, and more. You never know what RealVitalize can help you with. Home Advisor would be the ones, at least for our team, to let you know what exactly they can and can't do. And then I have my agent contact card, right? So the client, whoever is looking at this page, can scroll down and always have the option to contact me. Yes, they have the contact button here, but I always like to leave the information down there. That way, no matter where they are, they have the ability to reach me. So it's very important to have these contact cards. So I just wanted to show you that you can incorporate widgets that are normally on your homepage onto other pages as well. And then I also have like an agent testimonial here about how RealVitalize helped him. You guys might not use an agent testimonial. You might have client testimonials, which is even better. but I just wanted to show you an example of what this looked like. And this might not be the exact best example because it does have a link here that you can't click. You can fix that, but I'm not going to dive too much into that for this example. But I'm going to show you how to make a page like this because I think it's important to capture your niche in creating something that is going to speak to them is very important. Maybe I have a lot of clients who did have trouble through the COVID pandemic time. You know, I'm a little bit younger, so maybe they just need to sell their house for whatever reason. Real Vitalize can help them get that best value if they've never worked on it. Maybe it's their first home and they didn't realize what needed to be done or just didn't have the upkeep. Real Vitalize will be able to help them with a few things such as cleaning, electrical, and painting. So, all right, I'm going to actually delete this page and I'm going to make it from scratch, and hopefully I can do it within 10 minutes. It is a big endeavor, but I do want to show you the steps that I have done to make this page. So I'm going to go back here and I'm actually going to delete this page here. And I have the option to unpublish it, but I did want to make the same thing from scratch. I just want to show you how you can use our tools and the capabilities that you have to hopefully spark some ideas over the weekend, make some additional fireworks go off in your head. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete this page here, and I'm going to add a new page. So I'm going to click new page here, and we're going to talk about Real Vitalize on this page. Capital V, I did realize that halfway through. You'll notice that happens a few times. SEO title, I am going to make it about Real Vitalize, but I also want to keep my branding in there. So I am going to do Real Vitalize - marketing with Fardeen, so the clients know what page they're on. Here, I do want to use some verbiage from Real Vitalize. You don't always have to make it up. Thankfully, I have this pre-made flyer from InTouch with all the information that I need from Real Vitalize. So if I go ahead and click on it, it will take me to this flyer page that's also linked to my website. Really great stuff here. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy maybe this first sentence and paste that into my SEO meta description. So you don't have to be a genius. You don't have to make your own description. You can always take it from somewhere else and put it in there, especially when it's Global Banker. I am going to take this out and say call Fardeen for more information if they do come up to see this description somehow. Go ahead and hit save here. And we are going to see, you're going to see the page is whited out. That means it's not published. So you can be creating a new page and working on a page without it being shown to the public. You'll see here that there is no evidence of me working on this page for the client side. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the settings, and I have the option to always rename and update the SEO settings here, but I am going to edit the page. And I want that top beautiful banner again. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a widget here, and I want to add an image widget. So these are all the widgets that Ken mentioned earlier. You might see a lot of them familiar from when he showcased Pia's page here. The agent contact card is one of them. The community served card if you wanted to share what communities are on the page. Featured properties if you want to show off any of the properties of your office here. Recent sales if you wanted to talk about, if you have a big list of sales in the past couple years, this will populate there. Search properties. So this is more angled towards buyers, but if this was, this is more angled towards sellers, but if this was targeted at buyers, I might want to have the option to search properties from this page on here. So they give you that. Testimonials, easiest way to share the testimonials. And then down here is the custom content and the images. I want that big long banner spanning across my page here. So I'm going to go ahead and find that in my files. If you have uploaded it before, you will see it actually here in the websites tab. So you see I have uploaded it fairly recently, so it is down at the bottom here. If it's not been uploaded before, you can always click upload image, or if you want to choose from the stock images, you can find them in the stock images here. I'm going to go ahead, in the interest of time, just use what I already have in here and upload that. And on the headline, I will add that Real Vitalize text. So you can see here that it really has that Real Vitalize Global Banker, fix it up front for nothing. Great stuff here. So as you notice on that page, I had that division, one side with text, one side with the video. And if you have used InTouch in the past, you might have run into some trouble doing that. So I'm going to show you how. And this is usually for the advanced section here. So I am going to give you a little bit of the preview of the advanced editing that you can do on your website. But you'll notice at the top here, there is this section button here. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I'm going to create 2 even sections for my website. You can do 4, 3, or uneven sections, whatever you're looking to do. But I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and is going to add this section here. And this way I can have 2 parts on 2 different sides of the website. So on this side, I want a text section. So I'm going to do some custom content about Real Vitalize here. So I'm going to go back to this description here. I'm going to talk about selling homes faster for a better price, or maybe just keep the fix it up front for nothing as the title here. I'm going to keep it white, but you'll notice here that you can change the colors. These colors are actually not the colors that you see down here, and I know it can get very confusing. These accent colors are based on the accent colors you chose when you set your appearance. So if you chose like a more luxury look like Pia had, or you chose a whimsical look that fits your branding, like the orange that I have, that's the color that will be reflected. So I'm going to choose white for this one, just to keep it simple. And I will paste the rest of the information onto here. And then hit next. And save. And you'll see that information shows up on this side. And then if I want to add the video, I have a video that I want to add, custom content. So here I'm going to be showing you how to use the embed codes. So whatever website you're on, and thankfully I have the video saved up here for us about Real Vitalize, fix it up with nothing. Up front, I'm going to go ahead and pause this video. But every YouTube video does have the option to share. And then you'll notice that it has this nice little embed option. Whenever you do want to share something from another website onto yours, look for that embed option. Facebook is fairly easy to find under share. YouTube is fairly easy to find under share. Different websites have different options here. But I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I am going to paste this back onto my website editor. You can't just paste it into the body here. That's not going to do anything. I want to find these double little outward pointing arrows again and click here and paste the video into here. And then once I do that, I will have the video showing right here on the page. And maybe I want to add a tad of color. Maybe having too much white at the top there is a little bit distracting. So I'm going to go back to my style here, and I'm going to use my accent color for this one. So that way now when I see the preview of it, it will be in a nice little orange. So that's awesome. I did in my example have this bottom line here with what Real Vitalize can help you with. I'm in the interest of time, I am going to skip that, and I'm just going to show you that you can add other widgets. The sections will be divided until I choose to add another solid section at the bottom here. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to add my agent card. So I'm going to go ahead here, add my contact information so the clients can find me easily. I personally like this one here with the little frame. So I'm going to add that. As you can see, it takes my little bio summary that has this little meme that I had added for a little bit of fun. And you also have my appointment scheduling here. So if you can put in anything you want here, whether it's a phone number, an email, or links to your social, you have a lot of flexibility. Or you could do what Pia did in the example we showed earlier, have your words badges and have a click here to read more option. And then if I wanted to share that testimonial, again, you have the option to add the widget. You have the client testimonial widget. Maybe these testimonials are a little bit different because they're Real Vitalize, or maybe you want to add an image or another video. I'm going to add a custom content to show you don't need to do the image banner to add an image. If you do add an image using the image banner, it is going to create a long, big banner like this. So if you just want an image to appear at the bottom here, again, I'm going to go ahead and do the custom content section here. I'm going to add that splash of color again because I like it so much. Call this agent testimonials. And then go ahead and click this little mountain you see here and choose again. And I can upload it, but I do already have it uploaded myself. So I'm going to go in here and add that agent testimonial. And voila, there it is. And I can resize it here if I need to make it smaller. And then I can hit next and hit save. The one thing you'll notice is that I wasn't actually able to resize this video here. So you'll see if I click that corner, I won't be able to resize it. This is the one other advanced trick that I will show you. Again, don't worry about it if it's going over your head. It can get a little bit tricky here. But in this little double arrow section, you'll notice here you have a option that says height and width. So if you do change that, let's say I wanted to make the video a little bit smaller. Let's say I just wanted to do 500 and 300. You'll notice that that reflects in the video here. It'll get a little bit smaller. And that's how you can play with the size if you are having issues. Usually the smaller the better, because they can always full screen it if they have that option. Don't worry about playing with the size too much. And then once you are done here, you have this complete page. You can go ahead and click save down here. And I think I'm ready to publish. It looks good. This is what I wanted. Awesome. And the last thing that I want to do, so right now this page exists, but it is out here. And again, I don't like the clutter at the top. You're going to see this revitalized. I want it to go under my tools. All you have to do for that is drag it and drop here. Click save. And now when I refresh the page, you'll see it happily tucked under this little menu item. And me personally, I like keeping all my tools organized, so I want to keep it under one dropdown, but it is a matter of preference. But yeah, thank you. That is all for my demonstration here.
Great. So let me share my screen. And you should be seeing my my screen now. And we're on the community served page. So as I was mentioning before, and that was phenomenal, Fardeen, thank you so much for showing us how to add those certain contents and widgets to our website. And now I just want to sort of show you how you can add a little style to those respective widgets on your website. We'll start with community served. I mentioned how you can actually add these great communities to your respective website. And you want to use the communities that you specialize in. Maybe that if a consumer comes to your website, they'll be able to see your active listings or your sold listings and see that your communities, you're listing and selling in those communities that you specialize in. And as I mentioned before, it can include images, videos, that community description, the key characteristics. You can add links to external sites, maybe that's to speak to that community. And as Fardeen mentioned, you can definitely add media and SEO to every page on your website here. And last but not least, client testimonials. You can add past client testimonials to let people know why you're so great. And as I mentioned before, you can also encourage your current clients to visit your About page to post the testimonial themselves. Okay, fantastic. So there are some additional menu items, and there was a question in the chat about InTouch Pro and whether the websites we were using were actually a InTouch, were actually a Pro site or a standard site. And I'll show you examples of both of them. But some of the advantages that you Pro users have with our websites is that you can actually create a custom domain name. Our current URLs will show much like marketingwithfardeen.cbintouch.com. You can create a custom domain name with the Pro version without the .cbintouch.com. So consider marketingwithfardeen.com. If it's available, you can purchase that with your InTouch Pro account. Also, there is a Market Insider page that shows market trends and stats by simply plugging in a zip code. A visitor goes to your page and sees what's going on in that particular market. I'll show you that in 1 second. There's also a blog feature. So if you do your own custom blogs, you can incorporate that into your website. If you don't have custom blogs, there are a library of blog ideas and articles that are in the inventory of InTouch that you can actually use with your Pro version. Additionally, if maybe you're using a different website or you have a different branded website where there is no search features, you can use the search features from your InTouch website and use a search widget, plug that into whatever external website that you're using, and consumers can search from your InTouch page directly on any external page that you have. So that's a great feature as well. Also want to talk about custom analytics. So if you're in the analytics world and you're advertising, if you enter your Google Analytics tracking ID into InTouch, the website analytics dashboard will link directly to your Google Analytics account. This will give you more insight into how visitors use and how they find your website. But if you're putting that information in, you want to give Google a day or so to start populating your analytics information into their system. Also, Facebook Pixel. You know, if you want to measure the effectiveness of your Facebook ads, you can do so by adding the tracking pixel to your website. There are links that show you how to actually find these analytics numbers if you're not familiar, right in our InTouch platform. So I'll show you that. The last slides will just show you some of the recommended sites that we think that you should visit to just get some inspiration or see how these agents are maximizing the effectiveness of their website. So as I was showing you, Pia's site here, this is a pro version. Pia is using the pro version of InTouch, and a few things that you'll see on her website, like the Market Insider that I mentioned. This is a pro feature here. So as I mentioned before, market trends will all be available to you. You just simply plug in a zip code here, and all of this information can appear. So you may be familiar with this information, pulling this from some of our other products like MarketQuest or Prospect Square. Well, you have access to this information on your personal website. This is one of the advantages of the pro version. And there's literally nothing you have to do. This site is set up for you. You just simply have to order the pro version, which is $175 a year. So you may want to take advantage of that. Okay, so let me click home here, and I will show you. I'll show you how to actually make some changes to some of these respective widgets. Here's a widget where it's showing her photo here on the side, but if you'd rather it just be a rather large photo that's centered, there's a different style for that. And I'll show you that really quickly. All of these widgets will allow you to have different colors to the backgrounds, as Fardeen mentioned.
I think it got stuck. I don't know if it's stuck for anybody else, but you might have to unshare and reshare your screen.
Thank you, Fardeen. Here we go. Perfect. So I will go into Market Leader here. So I am in an agent's homepage here that does not have the pro version. Okay, I just want to make sure that you see how you can actually navigate through here and make some great changes to even the standard version of our InTouch platform here. So we'll start with appearance. So this is the left-hand menu, and of course we're in InTouch. We've clicked on website, and we'll click edit site here. Over here to the left-hand menu, you can click on appearance, and this is where we can go and designate what logo we want to appear on our homepage. So you see the different logo variations. If you are a global luxury certified agent, you will also see the global luxury variations on this window here. So you select upon the logo that you want, and remember, if you're using the monogram logo, you need a dark background. If you're using the framed logo, you want a light background. So we have this framed selection, and now we're ready to launch the website setup wizard, where we can decide upon the layout, the colors, the images, and any other optional display items that will appear at the top of our website. So let's click launch the website wizard, and you'll see the different templates that are available. With transparent background, you can change that from the blue logo by switching the text color drop-down option to light text, dark background. So you see how very quickly I've just changed the way that this site looks with that one template. We can change from right to left. You can see the next template that's available, and you'll see that there's some options. So you can definitely change the way that this site looks, make it very personal to your liking. Here's one with the logo over to the side and the name to the left. There's one with the logo centered and the name to the left. So you've got a few options depending on how you want that to show. So let's go back to the option that this site has, and I'll click next. Now we're ready to cover the colors and fonts. And as I mentioned before, we've got some recommended colors here, but you can change that color altogether if you're familiar with the color number. Plug that information in there. If you're not, simply click that field and you drag it to the color orientation of your choice. You'll see the end result here on the side. So this is your primary color, secondary color that we've chosen. You can decide upon the font type. And here's a nice window of menu items of fonts. So you can decide upon the font that you like. It'll show what that variation looks like on the side here. And there's some that I would not recommend, but some that I like. Just has a nice sort of Arial sort of look, maybe Calibri look to it. Decide upon that, and then you can decide upon your text colors, your headlines, if you want it to be a lighter or a darker color here, and click next. At this point now, we're ready to work on the hero image here. So this is the image that appears at the very top of your website, and you can have one photo that appears there, or you can add multiple photos where it's a carousel style, and you can add up to 4 images. My recommendation, make sure that it's no larger than 15 megabytes because your website will take a long time to load if your photo is too large. But if it's too small, it will look distorted on your website. So be very clear that you're going to have to do some playing around with these. If you're not really certain on file sizes and so forth, just upload the photos, and then you can just review your website, keep refreshing until it really works. If you decide that you want to change this photo, click Edit, and then you click Choose. Now, this is similar to the options that Fardeen was showing. You can upload your own image, or you can use the catalog of stock photos that Coldwell Banker has incorporated into this platform. Click on banners and you'll see all of the photos that are available in our stock photography. There are a host of photos, and there's some that are regional. So you see some that show Washington and some of our other Coldwell Banker markets nationwide. If you're looking for rather an interior shot or something in particular, you may want to click kitchen and it will show all of those interiors for you, to quickly show you through the catalog. But you decide upon the photo that you'd like to upload, if it's a stock photo or your own custom upload, and click Save. Now we have the photos that we like to appear. We'll click Next. At this point, we're in the review stages, and there are some options of profile information that's pulled from your account profile that you can opt to include on the top of your website. So this is the page where you can include company information, cell phone, office phone number. All this information is very important, and you decide on your personal website what appears. Now, it is required legally that our company name and our main office phone number is required, but rest assured it's in the footer of each page. So not to worry, but if you're using that office quite regularly and you're in there, or that phone can get, that call can get to you, go ahead and include that information there. The more the better. But Coldwell Banker Realty shows in the logo, so it's totally up to you the information that you can show there. Your search field here appears at the bottom center of your home page of this page here of the hero image, but you can change that display location by just clicking on this drop down here. It takes you right there, as well as the information that appears, that custom information. If you're licensed in multiple jurisdictions, or you just want to say, I'm licensed in North Carolina, or licensed in Georgia and Tennessee. In the Mid-Atlantic region, we have a lot of agents that are licensed in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and Delaware for that matter. So you decide. If you have a call to action you would like to place there, that's great. But ideally, you want them to know that this is where they can search for homes for sale. So keep that in mind. So we'll click Save. We've now gone through the appearance wizard. So this is the website setup, and now we're ready to see the different materials that Fardeen has added to the page, and I'll show you how you can actually manipulate those and make them look a bit different. So I've clicked on Pages here. This is how you can see all of the header tabs on your website, as Fardeen mentioned. If you click on this drop-down caret to the right where it says page and you click edit page, it will take you to the edit mode of this website builder. So it takes you through and it shows you the different widgets on the page. Whereas you can go in and you can change the way these different sections look by clicking on these three dots here at the top of each of these widgets here. As you see, featured properties has a widget. You can click there and change the way that that appears. Let's do that. I will click on our featured properties, and I would like for that to appear differently. This shows one listing across your page here, but if I click edit, you can change the way that this layout appears. Clicking that right arrow, and maybe you have multiple listings that you'd like to appear on that page here. This is how you can show that. And this is a version that it will just be photos, and when you hover over, this will pop out with this great information about that listing. Let's try the next slide. And if you may have even more than that, there's an option for 4 listings. So getting that information on your page, definitely important that you know that you can change the style of these here. Okay, I'm going to save that, and that's that widget there. Here is the agent contact card for this agent. If you'd like to change the way that that appears, as I showed before, you can click edit. And there are a host of different templates that are available for your agent contact card. If I click the right arrow, you'll see of the colors that you have designated in your website setup wizard will appear here, your darker color, your secondary color, and it just shows your agent contact card in different styles. Choose upon the one that looks best, that fits best for you, and click save. Again, this will be your bio summary that you've added in your My Account section. So if you'd like for that to appear, you can customize this. If you don't touch this, it will be the boilerplate information. That's still great, but that will appear on the side there of your agent contact card. Any other information that you would add, you can change the style as well. You can go right to the home page and change the way any of this information looks. So if you want to change that photo really quickly, it takes you to that option of changing things from your website setup wizard here. Okay. And here are where you can add information on your footer of your website. Your custom analytics, as I mentioned before, Google Analytics, you can plug in your tracking ID. This will allow you to sign in right to your analytics account on Google and copy and paste that information. Facebook Business Manager will allow you to get your Pixel ID, paste it right in there, click save, give it about 24 hours to feed, and then those platforms will start working on your website. Very important if you're in the analytics world. Community serve, you just simply click here and you add that community. We'll click add a community here. Now the name is just generally what you'd like for that name to be. And this is the areas are the boundaries of that community that you'd like to incorporate. So my example would be Capitol Hill in Washington. Okay, that will be my community name, but I can add multiple areas by this community boundary section. This is going to be pulled directly from your local MLS. So know that it's going to auto-populate. If I add Capitol Hill, it's going to find Capitol Hill, and you'll be able to select that as one of the options. And there's a community just to the east of Capitol Hill called Hill East, and maybe I want to incorporate that into my community serve section as well. So you can add multiple areas and name that area up here. Now, if you want to opt to draw a map around this community, you can do that as well. If maybe you're in Georgetown in Washington or area like Georgetown, and maybe there's, or Buckhead in Atlanta, and there's like a east or west village or west part of that town, you can draw an area on that map. So if you're only focusing on the west village of Georgetown, you can just draw area and just split, and Wisconsin Avenue divides that. Just draw a map around that particular area, or you can put the area names in as I mentioned. The community description, a great way to add a nice, great paragraph. As I mentioned before, you could get this from a website that talks about that community, maybe a blog, or just make sure that you're sourcing that information, that you're copying from another website at the bottom of the post here. Moving right along, we can add certain characteristics of that neighborhood. So make sure that they complement that that neighborhood and make sure that, you know, it actually is accurate. And you can even add your own characteristics here at the bottom just by adding that information. Also very important, you can add images to your community serve by just simply clicking add image, and you can add that from your computer here. Lastly, the SEO, very important for every page. You want to make this an interactive community page that people will actually see in their Google search results if they just so happen to be looking for Capitol Hill. And so your SEO could definitely be much like here. I will take Georgetown out and change that if I could spell correctly. And then your meta description, as we mentioned before, you know, Ken Milner of Coldwell Banker Realty will help you sell or list or buy a home in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, period. You know, get all that information and save. And then that will now appear on your website. That will then appear on your homepage there. The testimonials as well, just as easy. You just simply click add. And if you're manually putting in your testimonials, maybe from Zillow or Realtor.com, you can just simply click add, go to that website, simply put in your client's name. I'd recommend putting in their first name, last name, and maybe the city where their home that they purchased is. And now you can say that this person is actually a client, family, friend, colleague, other, maybe a vendor that you may work with, and then just plug that content in, you know. Just that easy. You know, you just want that information in there. You copy paste, you click save. Fantastic. Your testimony has been added. And then you'll see that the list of your testimonials there. On your website, the testimonials will revolve in a carousel-like fashion, just like the hero image at the top of your website. Also, I wanted to mention
we are at time, Ken. But hopefully, I think we gave enough juice for everybody to go through even the extended weekend here. So hopefully they have a lot to chew on. You guys can go back and rewatch this recording, go over the slides and cover the information. There's a few tabs that maybe we did run out of time, but as you can see, it's very robust, very customizable. So do take your time out, take a look at it yourself. Maybe sit with somebody who does specialize in marketing and really go over what you want to represent your business online.
Yeah, and at the end of the slides, there are also some recommended websites. So check those out and see if they give you some inspiration. Good luck, guys. I look forward to seeing your websites. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, everybody. And sorry we did not have any opportunity for Q&A. Again, it's very, very dense. So yes, we will provide the recording, and feel free to reach out to us via email. I might be putting us in a scary hole here, but yeah, feel free to send us any emails, questions. I'll put my email in the chat.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks,
Ken and Fardeen. Terrific job, guys. Everybody have a safe and holiday weekend. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye now. Did you get the questions in the chat, Fardeen?
I did my best. So good job.
You guys did an awesome job.
Yes, I appreciate it. Yes, happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th. Happy weekend. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, we made it. We made it. Just got a few more things to get out.
We're still here. Yes.
Still working. Bye.
Awesome. Take care, guys. Bye.